I'm Greg Fossilman Raymer. In our last lesson, we talked about the importance of opening the pot for a raise. Now, we're going to examine what you should do if one of your opponent raises in front of you. As with most decisions in poker, there are a number of factors that will help you determine what you should do if a player in front of you opens the pot for a raise. Some specifics we want to consider here are the strength of your hand, our position in the hand, our opponent's position, our opponent's image, and likely range of hands. Let's start with our opponent first. Where is he raising from? Under the gun, early position, middle position, from the cutoff, or the button? Remember, on average, players who raise in early position have stronger hands than players who are raising in later position, which means you can narrow down their range of hands before you act. Also, look at the type of player who is raising. Has he been active and playing a lot of hands, or has he been tight and waiting for premium cards? Is he a player who has shown a tendency to gamble more than he should, or is he only betting when he has a real hand? Everything you've learned about your opponent by watching his play will help you determine your course of action in this hand. Once we've put our opponent on a range of hands, only then is it time to look at our cards and ask if our hand is good enough to get involved. If so, is it strong enough that we actually want to re-raise our opponent? If we're holding a big hand like aces or queens or ace-king, the answer is obviously yes. We want to re-raise most of the time. With hands like jacks or below, ace-queen, the answer isn't always as clear, which is another reason why studying your opponents is important. While you probably want to re-raise a loose aggressive player with a hand like pocket tens, you probably want to take a more conservative line and maybe just call a tighter player and see what develops on the flop. Let's assume your opponent made a standard 3x raise and you look down to find pocket kings in the cutoff seat. You decide to re-raise, but the question now is, how much is the right amount against one opponent?